Hey, it's Jim. Welcome from Oshkosh 2024. I'm here on Friday. It's the last day of the show, and I was kind of thinking back through everything that's gone on here. So I posted a video right before I came out here about my new engine. Got a lot of questions about that. I'll probably talk about that in a little bit. But anyway, I flew up to West Yellowstone. It's a beautiful airport. It's got a nice little airport campground. And unfortunately, they don't have potable water right now, so I did have a purifier with me, so I was able to work that out. Anyway, they let me borrow a mountain bike all day, and I was able to ride around, and I had a good time. So I spent 2 nights up there, and then I flew across over to Reedsburg and got a hotel there. It's kind of my standard thing that I do as a staging area before coming to Oshkosh. So I wanted to get to the Sonics open house. I've missed that a few years because of weather either getting me in too early or too late, and I don't really like to move the airplane once I've set up my camp. So this year worked out great. I flew in. As I was leaving Reedsburg, there was a lot of clouds, low clouds between Reedsburg and Oshkosh, and I think about 4 or 5 pilots had just flown back in, and they were telling stories of the low ceilings. But I was looking at the ATIS, or listening to the ATIS and looking at the weather, and I didn't see anything to indicate that there was an issue at Oshkosh. It was sky clear, and they were doing the Green Lake approach, or entry point. I don't know what they call it these days. It's in the NOTAM. So anyway, I flew up and over the clouds, which is always, you know, a little scary VFR to be over a solid deck. But I had a pretty good feeling that it was going to open up, and sure enough, right at Green Lake, completely clear. I was able to drop down. I actually used my ADS-B this year to find a gap in the traffic, so that was kind of interesting. It really let me get some situational awareness as I was coming in there, and I was able to sequence myself by extending the turn that I was on, and sure enough, the planes that were there were right where they showed on the ADS-B, and made it really easy to get in line. Sometimes there'll be planes that aren't on ADS-B, but that didn't happen this time. Anyway, everyone was well behaved in a nice conga line. They actually asked me to speed up. I guess they were trying to, there wasn't much in front of me, so they had us all speed up over the normal 90 knots. Flew in, made the landing, and they say pilots are liars about their landings, but really this was a greaser right on the dot. It was perfect. I wish I had my cameras rolling. I decided not to use my cameras this year because I find it distracting for the show. I find myself, instead of just wandering and absorbing in all of the activities, it kind of puts me in a different frame of mind, like a cameraman's frame of mind, which actually can be nice sometimes because it gives you purpose and focus when you're at an event. That's why I like doing these videos. But this year I just really wanted to absorb the whole experience without having to worry about a camera all the time. So we did the open house. They showed the new high wing mock-up. They had a food truck there. Got to talk with all the OGs who brought their airplanes, and a few new people. Wasn't as crowded as in past years. I think maybe there were probably 6 airplanes owner built that taxied across in the Sonics mass taxi. But anyway, we had a great time. I was the only one that split off into home built camping, and this is the Sonics row right here. It's kind of across this little ditch, this water ditch here. And I was the only plane here for a while. I was joined by a guy originally from Australia for a night, but he flew out right away. Did meet up with a lot of the builders for various barbecues and dinners, and I went out to dinner with my friend Donnie and Jay from back in Ramona, back in California. And so I've been having a really good time out here. I think mainly I've been going to like the Burt Rutan things because he sort of disappeared off the face of the earth for a while. His famous quote at one of his first talks was, "Don't ask me about Seagull. I hate that airplane." wasted 7 years of my life on that airplane. So, that's true. There's a story there. So anyway, went to the Sonics barbecue, and you know, Wayne and Kathy just are such gracious hosts, and I think we had enough people helping with cleanup and setup, but they always are busy, you know, doing the work, and we really appreciate it. I know it's a lot to host an event at your house, but he's very generous, you know, with that house. So we saw the nighttime air show from there. More camaraderie. Very nice barbecue. And then the fireworks were just out of this world. Now, we were on the wrong side of the runway for the fireworks, so it's kind of funny because they had the drones set up to do their light display, and then the fireworks would be in front of the drones, and then the airplanes would fly in front of the fireworks, and then the pyrotechnics would go off on the runway. Anyway, we were kind of behind it, so the shapes that they were making were sort of convex, or concave, I guess. They were the wrong way. It was like you were looking inside of a fuselage instead of outside the fuselage, the airplanes they were mimicking with the drones. But regardless, it was a really fun time, and I got a ride back to camp, and took a shuttle back to my campground, and just been having a really good time. So, you know, people were asking me a lot. I think the most common question I got was, well, why'd you replace your engine? You know, something wrong with the old one? And yeah, it was tired, and it was time for a top end. I had about, I don't know, I can't remember now, 830-ish miles on it, and I did the bore scope. I didn't like the way the valves looked, and you know, I probably could have done the work myself. I'm just not an engine guy. So I called up and figured out what all the shipping would be and what it would take to get it out there to Tennessee. And at the time, it was, you know, COVID was still kind of in the middle of its throes, and shipping costs were through the roof. And by the time I added up shipping costs and potential rebuild costs, because they won't tell you the exact number till they see your engine, the difference between that and a brand new engine wasn't huge to me, and I always wanted the Gen 4. So basically, I'm going to say I got the Gen 4 because I wanted to. And, you know, my wife was on board because it was a brand new engine, and that made her feel good. So trying to figure out what I'm going to do with the Gen 3 that I have. Now that shipping prices are back under control, I might send it in for a rebuild and have a spare engine. So I might be starting a new project. Who knows? Xenos, anyone? Yeah, the other thing I was looking at was a Jabiru kit, but man, those kits are expensive. I think they're in the 70s. Xenos, I think, is in the 40s. Both of them would be great with that engine. But anyway, that's for a future episode. So my plans today are I'm going to fly out Saturday morning. I'm going to see a family friend who's got a concert nearby at Stevens Point. That concert Saturday night, and I'll start making my way home. It's been really nice being here as a retired person, because I don't have as much stress, you know, return stress. It's not as critical which day I leave. I'm not constantly watching the weather and worrying about getting back to work on time. So that part's been nice. Although I do have the extra expense stress of what I have to stay a few extra nights in a hotel somewhere. But anyway, it's a great problem to have. So the other question I get asked a lot, more by my family, is, you know, why do you go to Oshkosh? And even some pilots, you know, why do you go to Oshkosh every year? You know, isn't it a bit much? Aren't you tired of it? And I did have some of those thoughts on the flight out. I was thinking, you know, this is a lot of flying. You know, you're sitting in that plane for, what did I have? I had a 6.5 hour day to get up to Yellowstone, and then a 7.5 hour day to get to Reedsburg. And of course, flying into the show, it might have been an hour, but it was a real fun hour. So call it 15 hours of flying to get to the show. Expect a similar amount back. But once I got to the show and I got my tent set up and I was in the show, I just remembered how nice this is. I mean, it's such a unique event, such a unique experience that you can really only get that full experience as a pilot flying a plane into here. It's just an amazing event. Anything you might be interested in, you can go see. I mean, this year, I didn't do a lot of forums. Like, normally I would go to forums on all the topics I was interested in, but this year I was kind of a Burt Rutan fanboy. You know, I went to the memorial where they laid the stone for Dick Rutan at the Brown Arch. And I went to a few of his talks, and you know, he's 81, he's getting a little old and slow, but he's still Burt Rutan. He's funny as can be, irreverent as can be. Just gotta love the guy, he's a legend, you know, and wish him nothing but the best. And I just love being here. In fact, this year, since I wasn't in a rush to get out, I was able to take the days at a more leisurely pace. You know, I did a museum day. All right, I'm on the grounds of the EAA, walking through a forest with bridges over a little pond thing. Just can't believe how nice this is over here. There's a lodge over here. This is right off of the museum area, kind of behind AirVenture. And yeah, it's a really beautiful area. Look at this. There's a little bridge thing that goes across. Just unreal. This is what they do with our dues. All right, I'm gonna do a seaplane day today. I did a flight show day, air show day. No, it's just been nice. And then I guess the other thing I want to talk about, you know, for people who haven't been here before, is the setup here. You can kind of see big grass fields, and they taxi you into a certain row, and you set up your camp. And they have really nice facilities. In fact, I think I'll walk over here to the shower facilities. If you've ever been long-term camping, you know the thing that you love the most is when you finally get a shower. And here you can get a shower every single day. Going out in front of me right now is the welcome wagon. So as a home builder, they'll give you a card with the phone number. You call that thing up, it'll pick you up anywhere and take you anywhere, you know, within reason, on the show grounds. They're pretty responsive, and I used them extensively when I had my 80-year-old dad out here, because we would be out at Warbirds and he would be tired, and they would take us all the way back to Camp Solar. So that's a really nice thing. There's a builder's pavilion off in the distance. It has ice and coffee and more showers. They typically put the Sonics on this side of that stream bed, and I typically don't walk over to the pavilion because the show is right here. It literally takes like 3 minutes to get to Forum 7. So up here is the showers, and these are trucked in. They're air conditioned. I've never had it run out of hot water. You do have porta potties, but I'll say they maintain these porta potties really well. I have not been in a smelly one yet. Yeah, it's got a chemical smell to be sure, but not any other kind of smell. It's pretty impressive. They must run trucks around here all the time to flush them out, is my only thing that I can think of that would keep them so nice. So let's do a little tour of the shower area. See if there's an open one I can show you inside of. All right, so these are the showers. They're air conditioned. There are some steep steps you got to get up. Once you get inside, they're pretty nice. One thing that really happens is sometimes grass gets on the floor. They're pretty good at cleaning it all up. Once inside, you've got a little towel rack, a little soap rack. Hot water comes on really good. A little hook you can hang things on, a seat, and a trash bag. And it's air conditioned. I mean, really on a hot day, you could just come hang out here and cool off, to tell you the truth. But no, a really good shower. Nice to have a shower every morning, especially when you're camping. And then on the other side of the showers, they've got all the sinks that you can use for all your toiletries and toothbrushing. And so over here, you got a mirror, you got a sink. And what I typically do is I'll hang my toiletries on that little hook there. Then behind you, there's a power station. This is one of the first years where I've actually seen extra outlets. One of the tricks that people will do is they'll bring a power strip. So in case these are all filled up, what you can do is you can unplug somebody's thing, plug it into your power strip, and then you can basically create an extension here. If you go over to the builder's pavilion, they got giant power strips laid out on multiple picnic tables. In fact, we'll go over there for a little tour right now. So this is how you would taxi out from the Sonics row. It's a little inconvenient with our limited steering radius. You do have to kind of swing out here and get onto this road. What you'll find is that there'll be people in the little carts and the little motorcycles stationed around the field. So if you pull out for a taxi out, they'll know that you're ready to go, and then they can escort you out to the runway. I have had years where they didn't see me because I'm so small, and I just ended up starting my engine and starting to taxi out, and they intercepted me pretty fast and then guided me out. So you see these guys behind me here about to get going, and got a little escort vehicle right there ready for them. So over here at the home builders pavilion, they got the same thing. They got a little bit more in terms of number on the showers, but the same setup. Additionally, they have air-conditioned bathrooms. So for the gentlemen and the ladies, which is kind of nice. Also, they flush with water. They got the emergency medical medic call and the tram station over there. So that's pretty convenient. They do different events in the pavilion. They do a corn roast one night. There's coffee in the morning. And like I said, there's a lot of power strips so you can get your devices up and running again. And then there's the home built, the welcome zone, the welcome wagons for the home builders. The waiting spot for that over there. You can get your morning paper. You've got a microwave. And then they got a bunch of barbecues set up. So you have your buddies over, do a nice barbecue. They also sell ice. So that was something I didn't know at first. So we'll walk in there and take a look at the power strips. It's a pretty nice setup. You see it's pretty well used, but there's still open spots. And like I said, you can use that other trick of bringing in your own power strip. So back to the question on why do I keep coming back to Oshkosh? And I used to hear this saying when I first came, that you'll come for the airplanes, but you'll return for the people. And it took a few years, but now I do know lots of people, and I recognize people, and they recognize me at the airfield, and we have little get-togethers, or we'll go see things as a group, go out to dinner as a group. Like we had a Sonics dinner, was that Monday night? Fairly well attended. I don't know, 10 people or so. Really fun. We didn't have the numbers this year that we've had in the past, so I really hope to see a lot of you out here next year. Maybe we can get Camp Sonics going. Maybe we should. I thought one of these RV guys has a tiki bar, so let me know if you think we should open a tiki bar. I think that could be kind of cool. So show is winding down. I feel very happy, very relaxed, very at home in this place. It's the most unique experience in the world, really, and I'm super grateful to be part of it. And you can do this in a rental plane. You can do this in a plane you build yourself, or you can just drive up here. We got amazing camping opportunities. Oshkosh is just a unique, amazing experience, and I would recommend anybody who flies really needs to come at least once. It's really that good. Overwhelmingly big, but unbelievably personal, and lots of opportunities to connect and learn. And almost anywhere you go, if you sit down and you just start a conversation with somebody, 9 times out of 10, you'll just hang out and chat about all your aviation experiences. Most people are very open here to conversation and getting to know new friends. So that's my review of Oshkosh 2024. I'll see you guys in the air. Hope to have a lot more content coming out soon. I don't make any money from this channel. It's a lot of work to edit these videos, but I do it because it's also my personal diary, really. So I'm happy to bring everybody along, and I look forward to seeing you in the future.